Well, I'm joined now by Lee Cheuk Yan. He's a union leader and a member of the Hong Kong Legislative Council. Mr. Lee, thanks very much for joining us. The deal that was finally struck was twice as much as the original offer from the management, but less than half of what you'd been asking for. So are you happy with the deal?
Of course, we hope that it can be better, but we can settle for that in a way, and then we get a written confirmation from the subcontractor that they will, sort of assure the workers that they will pay the 9.8% wage increase. But what is regretful is that we want a union collective bargaining agreement, which this time we cannot get it because we want a union agreement. Actually.
Okay, you still want collective bargaining, and it isn't happening. This strikes are not that usual in Hong Kong, certainly not this high-profile strike. And what happened this time around was the unions made it personal. They targeted Li Ka-shing, who is Asia's richest man, who is also the ultimate employer of the workers. They camped outside his corporate headquarters here in Hong Kong. Why that strategy this time around?
Actually, in the first part of our strategy, we stay in the terminal. We want to settle it outside the terminal, camping out there, and then hoping that we can negotiate our way through. But for two and a half weeks almost, we got nothing from the other side. HIT had never really bargained in good faith. So we feel that we need to escalate our action. So then we move over to Cheung Kong. Firstly, the reason behind that, of course, Li Ka-shing is the one that are going to make the ultimate decision. He's the ultimate decision maker. He's the richest man in Asia, the richest man in Hong Kong. And I think it's the contrast that we want to picture out.
There was a lot of anger directed towards Li Ka-shing over this, and it wasn't that long ago when he was known as Superman in Hong Kong. So has there been a sea change, do you think, in how Hong Kong workers look at the senior business leaders in this town?
Yes, exactly. When we try to expose the exploitation of workers, their wages were paid less than that of 17 years ago. They don't have toilet break, they don't have lunch break. So it's really a very dark, sort of a darkness of the terminal empire that Li Ka-shing is owning. And then to contrast that, it is Li Ka-shing, the richest man in Hong Kong. And also, the HIT, I'm sure, is making a big profit for him. So we want to contrast that. And then, of course, the whole thing escalated into more of a sort of a social movement with the people of Hong Kong coming in support of the workers.
They did, didn't they? This was interesting, too. There was support from Hong Kongers. Why is that? Because Hong Kong, again, as I said before, it's not known for its industrial action.
I think because the people are really moved by the strikers, their situation, their misery over all this year, the sufferings, and then the people of Hong Kong, donated actually 8.5 million Hong Kong dollars.